All right, good evening, everyone. We've got a 2-2 match, the multi-category tournament for Super Metroid tonight. We've got Polar Bear Bunny versus Kashmod. I'm Oster. I've got Tracy M with me. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to a nice, quick GT Classic race between two runners. Like you said, 2-2. So should be interesting.
Yeah. So, what were the vetoes for this one?
Okay. So let's see. Kashmod, being the higher seed, deferred to Polar Bear Bunny. She vetoed RBO, and Kashmod vetoed all bosses. So we are left with GT Classic, which I believe Bunny has run recently.
Yeah, she's done quite a bit of it this tournament and has gotten, I think, 2 PBs in the tournament so far, actually.
Nice.
So,
Another P. Yeah, go ahead.
it's definitely the category that she would have wanted, but Cashmod's got a 36, so he's really strong in it too. I think maybe Cashmod less familiar with the all bosses route, so maybe preferred to race this out of the choices he had.
Yeah, and this is probably the better category for Bunny as well, just because there are a lot of things that can go wrong in GT Classic. Of course, most of them are early on, Green Gate Glitch and Lava Dive being some of them. But those are things. Polar Bear Bunny does a lot of randomizers. She knows how to do those things. Cash Mod, wouldn't be choosing this category if you couldn't do those things. So I don't expect to see too much trouble. We might see safety saves, but
Oh, we'll definitely see safety saves.
yeah, yeah, I suspect we will.
But yeah, so I would say it's the best category of the three for all of them. A lot of people just aren't that familiar with the all bosses route.
Yeah, it's not got a whole lot of attention. We added it in this season instead, or this season, this tournament. In the last multi-category tournament, we did mini boss RTA, which just never felt like a category that fit in with the others. So we decided to switch to all bosses. That way, we got the mini bosses in there, but we still played a full run.
Yeah, it's quite a bit different though, because like beating the game, you're gonna pick up both suits, but the old mini boss RTA, you'd only pick up one, and it would emphasize like either suitless, or it would make one player do fan tune and the other not have to.
Yep.
But anyways, GT Classic. So runners are going to uh, mostly follow the old any percent route up to Kraid. They're going to go up Red Tower to get power bombs first, but then continue to Kraid, get various suit, and then lava dive down to the lower north here, input the GT code, debug code that gives you pretty much all the items in the game when you go into Golden Torizo's room, and then beat the game from there.
Yep. And of course, the once you've got that GT code, it's going to give them all the items except Screw Attack, which they'll pick up right after killing GT, um, including 100 missiles, 20 super missiles, 20 power bombs. We're going to say 700 health because it's not really 7 E-tanks because it maxes out as 700, not 799, and 3 reserve tanks.
Yeah, the game does treat it as 7 tanks as far as percentage. What the game does
Yeah.
to calculate your percentage actually is it takes your max missiles, supers and PBs, divides each of them by 5. Each that counts as 1%. And it takes your max energy and divides it by 100. So 700 still counts as 7 for the
Hmm.
percentage purposes. But yeah, this is pretty much the only way to have a max health that's not ending in 99, and it's very strange to kind of experience, and it makes stand up glitch on Mother Brain kind of weird.
All right. Of
Bunny
course, like, yeah,
having
go ahead.
Bunny having a bit of trouble with the construction zone. So she actually doesn't. She doesn't have her angle down button mapped
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
She uses that for run, which I cannot really get behind. But not having access to it means you have to do a different strat in that room because you can't point the gun diagonally downward while you're still, so you can't really shoot out the floor blocks properly.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I'm not a big fan of not. I need my angle down button, but you know, everybody has their own controller scheme, so everybody thinks theirs is the best.
Yeah, and I mean, like, besides that, I I can see like item selects on L maybe. Run on L is like I don't know how I would short charge with that. But anyways, enough grilling her, picking apart her control scheme. She's doing a pretty I think did Kashmod do the wall jumps at the point?
He
Oh,
was
it is
doing
item
the
select.
yeah, he was doing more of a a polar bear bunny correcting you. Oh boy.
I swear you told me it was a run. I feel dumb now.
Oh,
Okay.
oh. Okay, well, Kashmod, he was doing more of he was doing the more traditional ledge grab climb. Polar bear bunny doing a left side climb. Not really using ledge grabs, but one I can get behind because that's what I've worked on really hard to get that left side climb. Although I do it with ledge grabs as best as I can. And we get to the bomb chorizo fight. Kashmod doing a very nice job finishing that off very quickly.
He fired the missiles like really fast. I thought they were going to get eaten by iframes, but I think you fired them like almost as fast as you can get away with.
All right, Bunny finishing off bomb chorizo as well.
I swear it was. Why did I was so sure of this because I made a joke at one point that had to do with this, and I just thought it was the case.
Okay, it looks like, and Kashmod gonna go ahead and missile the pirates here. Typically, this would be a sign of going up if this were an any percent run. But we do need to pick up the early power bombs. So we do need to go up Red Tower, at least pick those power bombs up before heading back down over to Norfair and Kraid. This is the best place you can pick up power bombs. I don't really. I guess the only other option would be Crocomire, which would be slow and annoying.
Yeah, I've had times where I've accidentally, gone down and forgotten to get the power bombs, and um, I'm honestly not completely sure whether it's faster to go back up Red Tower and go get them after high jump, or if it could maybe be faster just to go to Croc.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what point you figure out you lost them, so or you forgot them. So it's really hard to say.
Oh, actually, since if you're playing optimally, you're going to be skipping charge and charge missiles, so you'd end up with like 5 missile crocs. So I think
Oh,
that
ick. Yeah, let's go back up.
we did have a race where one of the runners forgot to
Yes, we
get
did.
power bombs and probably should have gotten high jump before trying to go back up Red Tower, but didn't do that either. That was interesting. So we got Kashmod skipping charge missiles. It makes the ammo management a bit awkward, especially going into Kraid's lair. So one of the things I see a lot is people using power bombs on the green pirates in Kraid's lair to avoid having to spend a bunch of ammo on them. It makes farming these cack attacks for supers non-trivial as well. Like, it actually takes extra time now.
Okay, Kashmod gonna make his way up Red Tower. This becomes a little trickier with just the pea shooter.
Yeah, having charge, you have the option to fire a charge shot for this, and it widens your beam enough that you get I think somebody told me it was 4 extra pixels. And I think you get 11 pixels to stand on without it. It's a bit trickier when you factor in that you have to start wall jumping quickly enough, and you have to make sure that second ripper is moved off, has started the cycle a little bit and all that.
Yeah, Bunny not going for the hero shot, but does a nice job of wall jumping up and shooting the block out the first time and then getting back up there right away the second time. I was going to have to watch out for her energy, a little bit low. Hellway, we call it Hellway for a reason. It's a bit of a dangerous place. She's a little lower on energy because she did go ahead and deboost through the pirates, the green pirates near Torian, whereas Kashmod did missile them.
Yeah, I think she's probably used to doing that just from old route. I don't know that kashmod. I assume kashmod still runs old route any percent. I'm not entirely sure, but Bunny I don't think has done very much else in terms of at least vanilla routes, and maybe wanted to make up the time.
Yeah, it is a little bit faster to run through them, and she's gotten through just fine.
Yeah, the concern is kind of Crade's Lair. You don't want to get health bombs when you're at mini Crade because you really want the super drops from him.
Yeah, especially in this category, you don't have a whole without charge beam to fall back on, without extra missiles. If you don't get that quick kill, you're gonna have to be farming a whole lot of missiles from Kraid. They don't. I mean, he'll drop supers with those claws, but not very much. So you're gonna be farming up a whole lot of missiles to finish off that fight. Then that fight becomes a lot more difficult.
Yeah, actually, his fingernails that fly around the screen, one of them has a 100% drop, the other one has a 0%. So if you need to farm them, you're only ever going to get one drop at a time, and you have to keep track of like which fingernail has the drop, and it becomes quite a mess. So kashmod going into Kraid, fair ways ahead. I think the execution gap is starting to come into play more, and also the Bunny's lower health is I think getting her to farm a bit more. So he gets the quick kill nicely.
Yeah, and there's what you're talking about. Bunny dipping below that magic 30 number is gonna have to go back and farm mini Kraid again to get those supers.
Yeah. I don't think she does. She doesn't have missiles for the two.
No, I think she does the one shot 4 supers.
Yeah, she isn't familiar with that one anyway. But that's the easiest one I would say to do without charge. Doing the 4 super method without charge, you have to be wary of his hands. You have to fire the shot to like wake him up at a particular time, and that wasn't a great time. That he's moving it, it was like a bit harder to since he moved forward, it's harder to time those super shots correctly to freeze his mouth open.
But she handles it.
Yeah, she's a little bit short. She's like 1 missile short on ammo after missing that one super, failing the quick kill. So that wasn't the worst to deal with, I guess.
Yeah, because she did get. Yeah, she got the 2 supers in right away, and then just was able to use that one last super and 1 more missile, and she's just fine. But yeah, it does of course lose time over not getting the quick kill in the first place. So kashmod gonna go ahead and pick up those high jump boots. It is possible and potentially it is more optimal to not pick up those high jump boots if you can do a high jump plus lava dive. But of course, when we talk about things being more optimal, we got to remember that it's only more optimal if you can do it.
Yeah,
so you're not going to see.
First try.
Yeah. There's a lot of other parts to this run where not having high jump boots just makes a huge difference. In particular, this room right here, you have to bomb jump through to get through. Just not ideal. So you're not going to see a whole lot of people skip those high jump boots, especially in a race situation.
Yeah, so Bunny's getting a Grady tank, which Kashmod did not get. I was pretty sure she would get this. It's going to give her a lot more leniency on the lava dive coming up. 2 E-tanks is still pretty lenient for a high jump lava dive. You can do it off of just one, using the same method that we use here.
And I
You
don't
can
think
do it on 0, but that requires a different method, and it's insanely precise.
I don't think I saw Cashbot take a save. A little surprised that he's got enough of a lead that he can afford it. So he's banking on being able to get this lava dive first try.
Yeah, that's true. Like, this isn't it's not that difficult of a lava dive to where like it's possible to be consistent, but it'd be a very punishing mistake. If you fail it and you haven't really made mistakes prior to that, you can still get out with 2 E-tanks and recover it, but that's going to start losing a lot of time if that happens. But yeah, I agree. He definitely had the room to save here. He's going for the bounce ball, which the momentum in here saves quite a lot of time, quite a lot of lava damage.
Oh no, that's rough.
That is basically, you can't afford for that to happen.
Not at all.
The Namahe hit takes away 100 energy, and this is where the decision not to save comes into play. And like, I have to agree that not saving there with the lead that he had, not sure if he's keeping up with how the race is going, but if he is, then save would have been advisable. Not that I would have done it myself. I have some weird aversion to that, but okay, he's saying in chat that hurt, and yeah, I've been there for sure. I've definitely lost races of this category to that myself.
Yeah, GT Classic has lived up to its name in terms of volatility. We've had a lot of these GT Classic races, not just we've had some, some green gate glitch fails. We've had lava dive fails. We've had low energy deaths before even getting to Kraid. We had the other day we had someone lose a run because he forgot to get power bombs before going down to Lower Norfair and didn't really have enough. Had the save after the lava dive, didn't really have enough energy to go back. So. But Kashmod goes ahead and just going to go ahead and start over.
Yeah, not much else you can do in this situation. Bunny did not take the save before.
Oh boy.
Lava. I suspect she forgot because I thought she did it on purpose in a prior race, and she said that she forgot that time.
Well, let's hope she can get it here.
Oh, okay. So she's saying that she didn't know that he failed it, and so she's actually doing it on purpose this time to try and make up the time. But she's typing in chat, which means that maybe she got it.
I hope so. You can see where that extra E-tank's helping her out, though, because she did fail it at first, but she's gonna just barely make it. Oh my god.
So this is pretty much the exact amount of health that you'd end up with doing a 2-tank high jump plus lava dive without any mistakes.
Okay, does take the save after the lava dive.
Yeah, so the save right now is, I think she's actually taking time to type right now.
Yeah, that save is really well with 26 health. You probably want it for dying too, but it's really for the 5 super missiles. You get 5 shots at that green gate with those super missiles, and there is absolutely nowhere to farm those up if you fail it. So taking that save is more about getting those super missiles back.
This is the kind of health where even like you get the green gate glitch, you can also die to falling in the acid if like a ripper knocks you into it. But yeah, this is kind of the spoiler category of the tournament. It gets it on the last try. Wow.
Oh my god, Bunny.
Okay, that was actually a really well thought out power bomb
Yep.
to get rid of the Rippers. Being in health bomb, they're gonna give her health, but
Yeah, 'cause
most importantly, just be out of the way to not knock her in the lava.
yeah, and yeah, especially smart because she had dipped below 30, but hadn't quite gotten back to 50, so she was still in that health bomb range. Otherwise, she would have just gotten a bunch of supers that wouldn't have mattered because, well, you're about to get 20 supers for free right now, and she does execute the code.
Yeah,
So
she's being really careful. She hesitated a lot going into that door transition, just making sure she had the buttons held, because that's another way that you can lose time here is by messing up inputting the code and having to reset just based on. So actually, it would be beneficial for her to crouch and aim directly up. You would get it would double hit GT with plasma shots because it would be inside it enough to hit it twice. But she can't do that because she doesn't have angle down mapped, and the way that you aim up while crouching is by holding down both angle buttons. So that's like another disadvantage of that. There is actually, I know Behemoth in 100% does a jumping strat to like be able to aim down while in midair and get the same result without having to do the crouch aim up, but that's quite a bit more complicated.
yeah, Behemoth, another runner that doesn't have the angle down, but you wouldn't know it by the way he ledge crabs. So, of course, when you're one of the best two in the world, yeah.
He ledge crabs using the D-pad a lot of the
I
time, which
know,
is insane.
which is
Like
it is absolutely insane.
I never intentionally used the D-pad to diagonal aim anything ever, and I actually kind of wish you could turn it off, like tap jump in like the newer Smash Bros. Games. But I don't know. This game's control system leads to some crazy things.
All right, Bunny gonna make her way down to Ridley. Oh, okay. I thought maybe she'd take a save here because for lead, I don't really anticipate her having trouble with Ridley. But you know, it is Ridley. You know, he is dangerous. Kashmod, meanwhile, making his way through the Green Hills zone, so he'll have to go back and get his power bombs again.
Yeah, I like the lava dive death that he had. Like, if he didn't have that Namahe hit, he would have had room to try again at least. He might have been a bit too low to actually bail on it. But I think, like, at his level, a lava dive death isn't something you expect, but it's also not something that you can really ever completely prevent. The wall jumping in lava is it's floatier, and being in a liquid without gravity state, your animations are slower, and so it changes the timing a bit to where it can be easy to like second guess if that happen.
Okay, Bunny in her Ridley fight. This will be 20 shots with this beam combination.
This category absolutely is murdering people.
It really is. And Toaster in chat making the comment. I think the theme of the last multi-category tournament was failed stand-up glitches with GT Classic. There was a lot of weird stuff going on with that. This time we just have a whole lot of different things that have happened, as I was talking about before.
It's the spoiler category though. Like it's the category that you pick because this stuff can happen.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Bunny finished up her Ridley fight and now gets to make her way out of Lower Norfair. Lower Norfair, a very different beast in this category, kind of similar to Hundo, where you have all the beams, you have that screw attack, you have that space jump.
Yeah,
Often. Go ahead.
It lets you do some pretty insanely fast strats, but also just gives you lots of safety. I don't know, she's at 257 health, actually, that's quite low.
She does have 3 reserves, so I mean she should be okay, especially with this loadout, you know, getting the. But it is lower than you might like.
Yeah, I think she took a lot of damage from the Ridley fight. It's just way lower than I expected, but yeah, having 3 reserves. Not worried about her dying, but it's kind of a. Sometimes, like, you see how much damage has been taken, you kind of extrapolate based on that.
Yeah, and you know, she was very careful to make sure she screwed attack all the key hunters. Those still do 50 damage to you with gravity suit, so don't want to be taking damage to them. And does the same thing with the 3 musketeers, and she's about to leave Lower Norfair.
Alright, so kashmod's got Varia again. Oh, he's getting crate tank this time.
Interesting. Yeah, okay.
I kind of like this. I don't know. I don't know if maybe he doesn't feel like saving again or whatever. But I kind of like this because he's just he can't do a lot from his position. He basically needs Bunny to have a soft lock on Mother Brain and not have saved since Norfair or so, and so basically a safety like this isn't going to make the difference in the race anymore when prior to this, you know, on the first go when nothing bad had happened yet, little concessions like that could have made the difference, but now they're not going to. Oh, he's going for high jump.
He's going high jump.
That's why he grabs it. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's going for the swag. Why not? Yeah, going for the high jump list. It is if you're only going to do 2 tanks on a high jump list, it is faster to pick up the crate tank than it is to pick up the high jump tank. So yeah, that makes sense. And you saw the way he had to bomb jump through the cathedral area to get through, because you know, those of you that may be used to randomizers, that block is put back there, and you can't wall jump off of it without high jump boots. So you have to use an alternative way of getting through. And I gotta tell you, I'm still not. I mean, 192. She should be okay. It just feels low. Maybe it feels low because we see all the 7 E tanks there that are showing up.
Yeah, I really think that's why. Like in any percent, this would actually be quite a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I say that all the time in randomizer. Like you'll see someone go into a Ridley fight where they have like 8 or 9 E tanks available with 3 or 4 filled, and it's like, well, that's still more than you'd have in any percent run.
But like I was saying, I think our brains kind of extrapolate this. It's also like you're like, well, that amount of damage is taken. Where did you take all that damage? What are you doing? Okay, so she microwaves Spatoon, and she's also going to microwave Dragon, so we're not going to see the massive health loss that usually occurs on that fight. Alright, kashmod doing the high jump plus lava dive. I think he's got it.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Got it. So that was really cool. Got to show off a little bit, even if he's not likely gonna win the race, but did get to do a nice swag strat.
Yeah, it's like you never fail lava dive in this because you can't do it. It's always like something dumb happens.
Oh, for sure. You're going to see more microwave action. We should mention that the GT code does give them grapple and X-ray. You just can't see it on the HUD. You actually have to physically pick it up for it to show up there. But it is still available. So Bunny's in a nice crouch. Crouching like that will allow. Oh, she gets out of the crouch. Okay. The reason why you would crouch is so that when Dragon dies, you'll be forced to stand up. You know that she's dead.
Yeah. You also you can also listen for a grapple noise that the game makes. That happens too. But the crouch stand-up visual is very reliable. Kashmod, entering GT code, he morphed through the door to ensure that he didn't fire a glitched beam and crash the game by accident after holding the inputs going through the door.
Yeah, there's a couple of choices there. You could select missiles, or you could, like you said, go through as a morph ball, and that will ensure that you won't accidentally fire a shot before you can turn that spazer off. Having both spazer and plasma on at the same time, the game doesn't like that very much, and it will crash your game.
Yeah, the game basically does it does some math with the pointer for the beam code based on which beams you have equipped. So each beam has a certain bit value, and it adds all the ones you have equipped together and uses that to determine where to look for the code that handles what beam you're firing. So it just looks for a place where it expects there to be beam code for spacer plus plasma, and it just isn't there. It's either garbage or it's the middle of another. For space time in particular, it's the middle of another routine, and it just ends up dumping a bunch of garbage into RAM, and a lot of that is how you get space time reset, because it just writes. It basically corrupts the event flags in the game. But yeah, don't want to. Most of the combinations will just crash the game. There's only like very specific few that won't.
All right, Bunny now has to remember that she does still have to go kill Fantoon. That'll be the last stop on the boss rush. Except, of course, Mother Brain herself.
I think what's funny is the people that tend to forget this are. I feel like they tend to be randomizer players, even though you expect randomizer players to remember it more.
Yeah, that's fair. Of course, Slaughter's famously doing. Of course, Slaughter's being both a randomizer and a flat out awesome speedrunner. Most famous for having gone for the Fantoon skip in a GT Classic race in the 2018 multi-category tournament in a race against Andrew.
Yeah,
probably
definitely ended up in a tie because of that. I don't think we haven't had any ties this time.
No, we have not. I believe your race last night came the closest.
Yeah, it looks like it did. I kind of thought it might end up being a tie,
but yeah, if you haven't gone and watched that race from 2018, go look it up. It was the race of that tournament.
We had like Gala versus Diddy in GT Classic as well, which it's the race where Gala Moz is the one that
he forgot the power bombs
and then tried to go up Red Tower without high jump.
Yep, that's the one. And Bunny doing nice work with that microwave beam on Fantoon. It's a little bit different on Fantoon since you do have to fire a missile and open the eye up before you can actually apply the microwave beam. But once you do, it's very quick. With Fantoon only having 2,500 health, and each time that plasma beam goes through him, it's 900 damage. So just 3 will finish him off. It'll be interesting to see if Bunny decides to stop the shift to top off her energy. If this were close, I would say don't. But she's got quite the cushion, so we'll see if she decides to stop there at all.
I mean, it's true. she's got 300 in her reserves.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
this
she
is
should be
also
fine.
this is also pretty okay. Never, she did the Shrine Spark. Forgot that. I forgot that that was going to be a thing. So, I mean, this is still a lot of energy, and at any percent, not having. Sorry, any percent. Sorry. With this loadout, I guess any percent loadout, or 100% loadout, I guess. Yeah. Okay. You really don't have to worry about missiles. Is the point I'm trying to make. And so.
No, not at all.
And so you can just kind of blaze through the Metroid rooms and keep that full missile count and end up getting more health based on that.
And Bunny says, you know what? I don't care if my opponent's way behind. I'm just gonna go, go, go. So.
So missile and health drops are linked. We call them tier 1 drops because they, if you're full on 1, then drops that were meant for 1, the chances of them can convert to the other if the enemy drops that type of drop. So if an enemy drops health and missiles, then if you're full in 1, then 1 type can convert to the other. But that's not true for supers or power bombs, which we call tier 2 drops. They can their drops can convert to health or missiles, but being full on health or missiles can't convert to supers or power bombs. You can't influence the drop rate of the tier 2 drops in any way. But the tier 1s are all based on like how full your stuff is.
Yeah, and that becomes significant in Turian, in like an any percent or a low percent run. Not so much here because we have. I mean, even she ends up going through and has 0 super. She has plenty of regular missiles to get through, and of course, there's a missile refill.
Yeah, she's gonna get back to 100 really quick though, and like once she does, if she keeps herself at 100, she's just gonna get a ton of health here. In like any percent in categories where ammo and health are both tighter, I think it's really just any percent that this applies. You'll see runners that maybe don't quite have all the supers they need, but if their health is bad in room 4, they may actually opt to use a super in room 4 to preserve their max missiles and get more health if their health is deemed the bigger priority.
Kashmod making quick work of Botswoon. Polar Bear Bunny in her last Metroid room. Doesn't even grab the drops.
and she's got up to 500 now. Kashmod going for full halfy. This looks good.
Oh, not quite.
Okay, we've got an R Sparker over here. You can wind up a Shine Spark by either pressing up or angle up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually know that he has it on R. I just assumed, I guess. Some people swap their angles, which is weird to me. But
I tried that for a very short period of time. I didn't like it.
actually, I did run into a situation in Metroid Room 3 where I would be able to do the strat. I would be able to do the fast strat if I had angle up on L. Or sorry, if I had angle down on R, I'd be able to do the fast Room 3 strat. But I can't because the button being on my other hand, I need to hit select with my left thumb, and I can't. Or no, I think I hit select. I'm holding D-pad, so I need to hit select with my left index finger, so I can't hit my L button when I need to fire an angle down shot at the right time. So that's like the one instance I've run into where angle down on R would help. Sorry, that was confusing. Not
Okay. Bunny having a little bit of trouble setting up the. Oh, it's gonna take the save. Okay. So decides to take the save here. I like this choice. I don't know if she's going to go for stand-up glitch or not, but either way, this pretty much ensures that she's going to get this one. I mean, you'd have to die a bunch of times in Mother Brain. That's just not going to happen. Bunny's too experienced a runner for that to happen to her.
Yeah, like she doesn't need stand up at all. And she's not on PB pace, so I could just see not going for it at all. In which case, I think not saving would have been completely fine.
Yep.
I think it's probably about even taking the extra time to save versus just not doing stand up. Stand up is like, I keep hearing different amounts, and it probably saves a different amount depending like how you execute it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I like 16 to 20 seconds full being combo. I would time it myself, but I don't trust myself to be like the prime example of.
Well, and yeah, like you said, it is possible to get enough shots in that when you get to that hyper beam, it's only one shot, but that's tricky. I mean, there's a certain point in the stand-up where you have to make sure you're not shooting because you can't be shooting while the hyper beam's turning on. So you have to be careful there, and so you have to be really careful to make sure that you get it optimally. And no, she still has enough because the reserves. Let's see if she chooses to do it. Nah, she's just gonna go. She's just okay. Not gonna do stand up. This is fine.
This is fine. So if you do stand up glitch, the baby Metroid detaches from you. Like when it's healing you, it detaches from you as soon as you hit max health. So it just sticks in place wherever it ends up. And because your max health is 700 instead of 799, it detaches much earlier than you'd expected. And that is actually at a time where if you haven't taken damage, Mother Brain is still on the left side of the room. So that is why a lot of soft blocks tend to happen in this category.
Yeah, ironically, I don't think I've seen too many issues with that. Like I said, the multi-category tournament 2 years ago, we saw a lot of issues with the stand-up glitch in this in Mother Brain 2. This time, we're getting all sorts of other weird things happening in GT Classic, so.
So actually, getting all your shots in for like one hyper beam shot left is not necessarily the most important thing. It can be more beneficial to position the baby at the far right. Because the way that it swings back on screen, it does it much faster if it's positioned as far right as possible on the screen. And you can still reposition it, because what happens... I'm explaining something that totally isn't happening at all. It's just kind of...
okay.
But basically, once it's detached from you, it still teleports to your position whenever Mother Brain hits it with onion rings. So you use that to get it stuck on the far right. Of course, Mother Brain has to hit it. The whole issue with soft lock being if she can't hit it, you obviously still can't get it to move. But like you'll see really good runners of Hondo and GT Classic. They'll prioritize that like a little bit over getting every single shot in, so they'll end up with like 2 or 3 shots left on MB3.
Alright, Bunny just needs to get through the escape.
She got stuck on the gates closing, the room after Mother Rain. I hate those gates. I used to get stuck in them all the time.
And Kashmod about to hit Torian has really good run going after that death.
Yeah, he was mentioning the second run has been great, and while I haven't paid as much attention to the runs themselves and the status of this race since then, which is unfortunate. But he's got the high jump plus lava dive going for him. I didn't see if he saved for Green Gate. But yeah, that can happen sometimes too, where just the pressure is all off, and at least try to have fun with the rest of what you're doing.
All right, Bunny gonna go ahead and finish up with an official SRL time of 43:51. GG's to Polar Bear Bunny.
GG.
Meanwhile, we can watch Kashmod go through Turian.
Okay, so she's gonna be in the 3-2 bracket in the finals this week.
Yeah, that keeps her alive for a potential shot at getting into the 4-2 play-in match. So well done, Bunny.
Yeah, it does. Unfortunately, Kashmon's gonna be 2-3, and like actually, so interesting thing is, this was by far the biggest gap in seeding this week. The 20 Kashmon being the 20 seed versus Polar Bunny the 52 seed. But I mean, GT Classic is just being itself.
Yep,
here.
GT Classic v GT Classic, and welcoming in Polar Bear Bunny. GG's, nicely done.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know, that really sucks.
I mean, it doesn't suck that you won, but you know, sometimes the way you won isn't as satisfying as other times.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of hard to say because it's like if something like that didn't happen, I wouldn't win. Like that's just the way it is. Kashmod has like a 46 any percent. Like I don't know how I'm supposed to compete with that. With my
by picking 55. A category where a huge mistake costs.
Yeah, yeah.
That's part of how this works.
Ooh, and very nice down back Zeb skip over there from Kashmod. I just had to point that out.
Yeah, it was definitely better than average.
Are you
sorry
taking a shot at your opponent from last night?
Oh.
Dang. Oh. But yeah, I don't. If I had known that he didn't get his lava dive, I would have saved for mine, and then mine turned out pretty scary.
Well, it's good you had that extra E-tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not tell if you were typing because you had gotten there, or if you typing because you died. Because if you had died, then we would have had a race again, although you'd have been at more of a disadvantage, and like you already being the slower player.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that E-tank because I don't know how to do the fast bounce into the lava dive. So I pretty much need the third one. Otherwise, it's cutting it really close.
All right, Kashmod is going for stand up and actually didn't turn Barrier Suit off to do it. Just makes it a little more dangerous. You don't have as much time to do that second bit of damaging himself down.
Yeah, so the important thing about Barrier stand-up is actually you want to get under 300 as soon as you can after standing up, because that's when she goes into her mode where she won't rainbow again, and she'll just try and do like calculate her damage attacks again. So it's the 300 that you need to get under quickly. You have as much time to get under 100 from there as you want. It's just if you're too slow, getting before 300, she'll rainbow again. And it's only if you've damaged yourself to under 300 after she decides to rainbow again that you die. So I think like just understanding how that works gives you a lot of safety on various stand-up. It's really not that dangerous. He's got that Metroid pretty far to the left, or to the left, but he was aware enough of it. Yeah, I think he knows what he's doing, but it looks scary.
There he goes.
This is gonna be like a.
Three
It's gonna
shots,
be
I
like
think.
a 6. It's gonna be like a 6-minute gap. It's not gonna be very long at all. He made up a lot of time again on the second round.
That's that second run, and it's a shame that you can't even count that in PB consideration because it wouldn't have a Sirius station in it. But it was that second run was very nice.
Oh yeah, I've literally seen some players when stuff like this happens in a tournament race, they'll just reset and do series again for the chance of the PB.
Yeah, I really didn't think like I was completely out of the woods and had a free win. Honestly, if you're fast enough, you can catch up to me. So I wasn't gonna be like naive.
No,
and
you
think
weren't.
that
You
I
weren't
totally
complacent.
had it.
Yeah, it's good you weren't complacent.
I will say from experience being on the other side of this multiple times, it's really hard to do that though. Like it's like you're fairly safe if you've taken that save.
Oh, and misses the behemoth spark, and we'll have to go ahead and try again here with the short charge, and misses it the same way the second time.
Okay, this is he not crushing or no? He's crushing. I don't. I'm very surprised that bonked that platform.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. All right, and kashmod gonna finish up with an official SRL time of 50:32. GG's to kashmod.
GG, kashmod.
GG.
It looks like he's gonna also join us for an interview. Just waiting for him to join us.
Oh, he needs help.
Here, I can just do it. There we go. Welcome in, kashmod. Little unfortunate circumstances, but the second run was really good.
Yeah, definitely. I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm this far behind. I'll just go for high jumpless lava dive, and it worked out.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I was kind of like straggling on my own run because I was like watching you do all these cool things.
Well, congrats to you. Consistency and not dying goes a long way instead of, dying and having to do a better run the second time.
Yeah, I guess so. I've been having really good luck with GT Classic. This is my third time racing it in the tournament.
Nice.
And no disasters so far.
Well, no disasters for you.
For me, yeah. Everyone else seems to be having problems, but it's so
kashmod, take us through your thought process the first time around, not taking that save before the lava dive. You had a bit of a lead at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I was planning to not take the save no matter what. I've done lava dive a lot, and I wasn't really expecting to mess anything up. And it went well until that very last wall jump, and then I think I still would have been good if I made it down without hitting the flame.
Yeah, the flame is what really
That flame was just in the wrong spot.
Yep,
It happens.
It can happen no matter how much you try to prevent it, I think. Which is why the save is good, and like you had enough time to take it, but like I also understand being really confident in getting it and just not taking it.
Yeah, I have a missed baby skipping my PB, and so I wanted to see if I could stay within my PB and maybe even get a PB.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
a save would, lose me whatever 15 seconds.
Yeah, I guess I guess you could time it back. We'll never know for sure whether that second run would have been the equivalent of a PB because, of course, you can't count it without Serious Station, which is a
Yeah,
little
that's all right.
unfortunate. But you second time around, you got the high jump list. You got that very very nice down back zeb skip. That was very impressive.
Yeah, I've been practicing that one a lot to try to get rid of that pause going into Turian.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Bunny, you're 3-2, still alive for brackets. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna guess that wasn't what you were thinking when you entered this tournament.
No, absolutely not. I didn't think I would win any races. And then I was like,
Wait, well, you're on a streak, right? This is your third straight win, right?
it is, isn't it? I'm on fire.
So all you other 3-2 runners, watch out for Polar Bear Bunny.
Yeah.
Cash
This is why Kip put you in the dash bracket.
Yeah. This is
There
why I
you
was
go.
chosen.
Well, Kip's also a smart guy, so.
jeez.
Cashmod, unfortunately, at 2 and 3, I don't think that's gonna do it.
No,
Yeah.
I think you pretty much
That's
have to be
not gonna
4
do
and 2. Yeah, so unfortunately, that's gonna. I mean, you'll get one more week, so definitely one more run to have, and one more week to play. So that's cool. But
Yep.
Wait, you have to be 4 and 2.
yeah, I haven't quite done the math yet.
Good thing
I'm waiting to the end of the week. But yeah, the cutoff I think is going to be 4 and 2 to get into the play-in. I could be wrong, but yeah. Honestly, I hate to say it, but I'm hoping it's 4 and 2 because 3 and 3 would be a whole lot of races for like very few spots, whereas 4 and 2 will be a whole lot of races for a whole lot of spots. So. But congratulations to Bunny and GG's to Cashmod.
Thank you.
And if there's anything else either you want to add before we call it, go ahead and do so now.
GG, Kashmod.
Thank you. GG to you.
Thank
And
you.
good luck.
Yeah.
Get that win next week.
I'm gonna try.
Thanks to the commentators. You guys are great, Tracy and Azure. Thanks.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, chat.
All right. Okay, so that'll do it for us. We do have, I think, just one more race tonight, but it's a good one. Shiny Zenny versus a Real Cutie. Our last, our second and last 4-0 versus 4-0. Really looking forward to that one. It should be a really good one. A whole lot of races tomorrow, starting at 1 o'clock, all the way through 11 o'clock. So tomorrow, pretty much tune into the SpeedGaming channels. A whole lot of Super Metroid going on. I happen to know that a couple of them are going to be RBO matches, so those should be fun. But I want to thank Azure for joining me on commentary. I want to thank all of you for watching in chat. I want to thank the SG and all the other organizers for putting this together. Also, I'm going to put a shout out to all the people that have commentated these matches because sometimes everybody that's doing it is volunteering their own time. So I definitely want to shout those people out too. Anything else you want to add before we go, Azure?
Shoutouts to people who are volunteering their employer's time as well.
All right. Oh, I guess I should shout. I've been remiss in doing this when I'm commentary. We'll shout out the sponsors for providing the prize pool, Balls Guarana and Mega Cat Studios, and make sure you definitely check them out because really cool that we're having this tournament and actually going to have some prize pool at the end. So, but yeah, other than that, make sure you tune in. I will see you all at 11 o'clock for 4-0 versus 4-0, Shiny Zenny versus a Real Cutie.
Yeah, hopefully that gets restreamed. I don't see a channel for it right now, but
I will make sure it gets restreamed. I will have a chat with some SG people.
Alright, well, good night, everyone.